Before we get started, I wanted to ask you to take a moment to fill out a brief survey. We want to hear from you about what you think about the show. It's a way for us to improve the show, and it helps us find sponsors to keep us going long-term into the new year. As an added bonus, if you fill out the survey and leave your email, you'll have a chance to win $25 in chamber bucks to spend at any of your favorite local spots. So just click the link in the show notes and spend 5 minutes filling it out, and I'll be extremely grateful. Hey everybody, you're listening to Area Code Batavia, a podcast about what it means to belong in Batavia, Illinois. A few weeks ago, Paula Mueller, the owner of Paula's Couture Consignment, dropped a bombshell. She would be giving up ownership of Paula's. Batavia is a small enough town, and Paul's an important enough part of our downtown that this was actually kind of a big deal to a lot of people. But this announcement came with another announcement. Paula's now has a new owner, longtime Paula's employee and an entrepreneur herself, Amanda Mistretta. I've talked to Paula before for this podcast. You can find a link to that episode in the show notes. And one of the things that stood out to me in that interview was just how important Paula's was to so many when it comes to their sense of belonging in Batavia, not just to her customers, but to Paula herself. So it was clear to me after that conversation that Paula's was an integral part of her personal journey and a core way she defined her own life and purpose. So honestly, it came as a bit of a shock to find out she was leaving it. But even more shocking was the choice she made to offer it up to someone else. If I can speak personally here, I was impressed. Not only is it hard to leave something in general, it's especially hard to leave something you've built. And to hand that thing off to someone else, that's nearly impossible for some people. So when I heard this news, I knew I had to talk to Paula and Amanda about exactly how this came to be, how Paula prepared herself to give up her own creation, and how Amanda moved past the inevitable imposter syndrome to step into this new stage of her own life. My conversation with Paula Mueller and Amanda Mistretta is coming up right after this. You're already listening to Area Code Batavia, which means you care about Batavia. But did you know there's another layer to this? It's called the 630. The 630 is for the super listeners, the people who don't just live here, but love it here. When you join, you get an Area Code Batavia sticker, exclusive audio content, and free access for you and a friend to our live shows. But even better, starting in December, we've partnered with Limestone Coffee, Bocaditos, and Sturdy Shelter Brewing to host weekly 630 community hours where you'll receive members-only discounts and free stuff, plus the chance to hang out with other Area Code Batavia listeners. Membership is just $10 a month. I did the math, and honestly, the value of the perks you'll get at these spots is worth more than the cost of the membership itself. But mostly, you get to be part of a foundational community that powers this show. So go to the link in the show notes and join us at the 630. So first, we should just say we're recording with the store. Luckily, there's no one in the store right now.
I guess that's lucky.
Yeah,
But
right?
it's 1 p.m. in the afternoon, so at any moment, someone could come in.
Right.
And we've made a pact that whoever's not talking is going to get up and help them as necessary. So if people hear that happening during the interview, that's what's happening. It feels appropriate in some ways. It gives like a nice picture of what it feels like here. Because I do think like people sitting around having deep conversations is not a unique situation for
Right.
being in Paula's, right?
Definitely not.
So let's start by setting the scene for people, just providing context. What is happening? So a lot of people know this from social media, but can you sort of spell out specifically what is happening with Paula's in the next month or so?
Sure. So I have had the store for 7 years.
Yeah.
It's been my baby. And I have recently decided that while I'm still young enough to move, I'm going to give it a shot. And my husband and I are going to take a year off and we're going to travel a little bit. So since it is my baby and the clientele here mean more than everything to me, more than everything, there was really only one choice to ask if they might be interested
You didn't
in my
have auditions?
story. I did not hold auditions. I only asked one person in my life, and it happened to be Amanda because I knew that we shared values, we shared the thought process, and we shared clients we loved. We share a love of fashion. We share a lot of things. So I asked Amanda if she'd be interested in buying the store and taking it over. And I'm so grateful that she said yes.
So the facts are, you asked her to buy the store, and then you said yes, and you bought the store.
No, not necessarily.
What does that mean?
When she first asked me, I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's a jarring thing to be asked, right? Did it come out of nowhere?
For me, yes, because Paula had told me that they were planning to travel for a year.
Yeah.
Setting me up, to ask me if I was interested. So I had just learned that, which was kind of like, oh my gosh, Paula is going to be gone. And then she was like, and do you want to be me?
Do you want to be Paula?
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to get deeper into that moment and later on. For now, I wanted to ask, how did the two of you meet?
I would say the boardwalk shop.
Okay.
Amanda had a boardwalk shop, and she had shopped my store. And I think it was really Haley Uplifter sticker that you usually saw because she was my Sunday girl at that time.
Mm-hmm. What was your boardwalk shop?
Wonder and Wander, the toy store.
Right.
A few years ago. Yeah.
And are you still doing that?
Just custom orders.
Okay. Got it. Cool. And so you met at the boardwalk shop, and how did you start talking?
Well, so she was...
I meet a lot of people,
right.
But I don't usually develop relationships with them.
Well, she was a shopper down here, and then Anthony was a shopper down here, and so we kind of got to know each other a little bit that way. And then when I needed more help, she was a perfect candidate. So I asked her. I've always liked Amanda, apparently.
Right, yeah. So when I interviewed you...
Yes.
The first time, people should go back and listen because it is one of my favorite episodes. Oh. It's very good. And you can always tell how good an episode is by how nervous that person is about it. You told me earlier you listened to it 3 times to make sure you didn't say anything wrong or the wrong way.
Yes.
Which of course you didn't. But yeah, it's really good, really vulnerable, right? But of all of the things that you talked about, you never said, I might not do this very much longer.
No, I did not.
So at what point did you realize I might not do this very much longer?
So to be quite frankly, when the election went a wrong way, if you ask me. My husband and I then started talking about what our future looked like and what we really wanted. My dad had passed away. We're watching his father slowly pass. And I think it brought up a lot of concerns for us as to what we really wanted out of our years together. I met him late in life. I didn't know him when I was young, but neither one of us have kids. Well, he doesn't have kids. I have children, but they're grown, so we don't have small children. We started looking at things differently and started reevaluating. And then with the changes with medical stuff and other things, we just decided to go ahead and take our time now.
Yeah.
And we keep saying it's only a year.
Yes.
I should say. My husband keeps saying that, we're going to fall in love with a spot and we're going to stay forever.
Yeah. Yes.
So we have different goals in mind.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping for just to go and experience and see things in a different light right now.
Right.
But I never know. And I'm adventurous.
Yeah.
I was very adventurous when I first opened the store. I didn't know what I was doing particularly at that moment in my life either. And it just seemed like a good opportunity to infuse the store with new energy and a new outlook. And to also allow myself to have time to do some things that I might not get to do.
It's interesting to me that pivot into thinking about it as temporary, something that might end, that your relationship with it might end, is tied to the election. That's interesting to me because, to me, it seemed from the outside that the election was a moment where Paula's became pretty important.
It became very political.
So what did you feel a tension there? You must have felt like 2 completely distinct and almost contradictory feelings around that.
100%. And thank you for recognizing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was why with our decision to go, I had a great anxiety over leaving my community that I value intensely. I think that, oh boy, I'm trying not to get tears here, but I really worry about my trans community, and the store being a safe space is more important now than it's ever been in the entire 7 years. And I also didn't always have the backbone that this election pushed me to have.
Right.
So in considering whether or not we wanted to go, that was part of wanting Amanda to hopefully take it, because I don't think I could have done it if I was just going to close it. I think it's too important to continue the safe spaces that they're so needed.
Amanda, when you first said no, were you like, actually, it's probably better if you close it?
Can I clarify one thing here? She never said no. She said,
not to you.
She said, oh, what? No way. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah, it was sort of a disbelief thing then.
Yeah, it was more so in the moment I was like, I can't be Paula, you know, when she first approached both my husband, Anthony, and I. And just knowing how special, you know, Paula is in the community. I know that I've got really high heels to fill. And so I was not believing in myself enough in the moment. And then that's what led to a yes, though, is the more we thought about it was the more we couldn't let it not be here. It's an important space.
It's interesting you say that, because I was wondering, because I was putting myself in your place and I was thinking the imposter syndrome, the doubt, the insecurity would be intense for me if I was asked to do something like that. Mm-hmm. It sounds like you struggle with that a little bit. You felt a similar thing in that time period that might have prepared you for that opportunity?
I think what led to Paula making the decision for her life that she needed to, you know, go overseas, this election, this political climate, the world that we're living in right now, definitely led to our decision to say yes.
Yeah.
If it didn't feel as ominous as things kind of feel right now, this heaviness that we're all feeling, I don't know if I would have felt the pull as strongly, just because it was a big leap, a scary thing to say, yes, well, I'll be Paula and buy a business and have a baby and, you know, still have another job.
You are doing a lot.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot.
So I don't know if I'd have been as drawn to say yes if it wasn't the climate that we're living in. Not that I would have wanted Paula's to close no matter what, but I think it was even more important to say yes.
Yeah. Okay. So both of you are sort of dealing with this thing that I'm fascinated by with this, which is this tension of, I want that to exist, but I can't be the person, you know? Mm-hmm. And you made different decisions on that question. But that is a thing I think a lot of us feel a lot, especially now as like so many needs are arising. I mean, just all over the place, there is a need and a mission that we can click into and get involved in. Amanda, why is this one of the missions that you're prioritizing right now?
Well, there's a story that I think would kind of sum it up. So we had our announcement party here just a few weeks ago, and I had family come, and my uncle came, who is conservative. And afterwards we went out to dinner, and my dad asked him, what do you think of Paula's, you know? And he said, well, I mean, you know, I'm not very familiar with fashion or anything, but he said, I could tell just by being there, it's not just a store.
Yeah. And
hearing that from someone who I don't necessarily agree on political views, but could feel that and feel that safety, it went to show that this is more than just a store.
Yeah.
And it's not something that can go away right now. We need it more than ever. So
yeah. Yeah. Paula, one of the things that I want to acknowledge is the difficulty of handing over something you built. And it's something I think about all the time, because there are so many organizations and businesses and brands that just disappear because of the whims of their owners or founders or whatever. And I've always preferred, I think it's fine either way, but I've always preferred those things that are made to be passed on. But I think this is a great example of how hard that can be. And it's really clear that this is created sort of in your image, and it's named after you. So how did you come to terms with just okay, it's one thing to say, I'm moving on. It's another to say, I'm handing this over. How did you come to terms with doing that? How to do that?
I'm not sure I have, to be really honest. Yeah. I mean, I think I undervalued how many people see the store as me. I didn't realize so many people were paying attention. Clearly, after the election, the store made a very big turn, because it was after the election I started being political on my social medias. Okay. Having been once on city council, I know that local elections really matter.
Yeah.
And it's all fine and dandy to not like what's going on at the federal level, but it's really important that you watch your own backyard too.
Right.
And so I just realized at that moment that I had a lot to worry about in our backyard. I made a shift there, and I just didn't think most people would. I figured I'd lose a few and I'd gain a few, and that would be what would really come of it. I didn't know that I would it would become so important to so many.
You're on a journey right now. You're in the middle of it. I can feel it.
I am.
Yeah.
And you question things, but I'm really trying to do what's best for myself.
Yeah.
And for everybody I love. And I think I've made right decisions. So.
Yes. Well, let's lay it out for you and for other people. What is it that you stand to gain now as you leave and you go overseas and all this stuff? What are the values that led you to make that decision? Because you've alluded to it, but I think it's good to spell it out.
Well, I hope to find, boy, this is what I remember the first time. You asked some questions that really make me think. So I hope to find fashion, but I also hope to find maybe a little safe spaces over there, maybe a little more like-mindedness. I hope to find different points of view and different culture. And I actually hope, the overall hope is that we stay connected both individually, but as business. I would hope that I could still, in some ways, participate in Paula's from overseas.
Yeah.
So that other people get exposure to other cultures, other cuisines, other fashion.
Okay, yeah.
So I hope to continue to be more of an activist than I ever found myself being beforehand.
Yeah. So are you doing work over there?
I'm not doing any work over there.
Okay.
At least not at all in my sight line right now.
Okay.
But I'm never going to say no to something if an opportunity arises.
Right. So what I'm hearing is to sum it up, it's rest is what you're getting.
Yeah.
Because you've been going pretty hard.
It's nonstop down here. It's 7 years of finding a clientele, having a clientele, and then trying to keep it moving, keep it going through COVID, through ups and downs of life, through all sorts of stuff. And I do think now it'll be nice to have an infusion of new energy in the store.
Yeah.
I do believe that once you've built something, sometimes it's best to let somebody else come in and complete, I'm passing the ball.
Yeah.
That's how you win the game. You pass the ball.
I agree with you. Yeah, that's good. Amanda, could you describe the first time that you walked into this place?
Yeah. So actually the first experience I had with Paula was during COVID. I think I had heard about Paula's a few times, but I had not been in. And she had posted that she's collecting items. And so I got a bag of stuff together and she came to my house and picked it up. So I never actually saw her. I saw her running up to my front porch and running back to her car. And I watched her Wednesday fashion shows. And I just remember feeling like so connected to somebody just through a screen. She like drew you into her fashion shows. And it felt so warm and welcoming. And so then once things opened back up, I was able to come in and experience it firsthand. And I think the best way to describe Paula's is like a big hug when you get here. It just feels so cozy and eclectic, and all the, writing on the walls and the pictures, it just makes it feel warm.
This is an unfair question that we're just going to put in judgment-free zone.
Okay.
Do you remember the first time that she walked in?
I don't remember the first time she walked in, but I do remember early, in the very beginning. And I remember meeting like the family. Yeah. So, but I don't remember the very first. Honestly, at the time during COVID, I don't remember anything but thinking, dear Lord, can I make this? I make it through this?
Everyone has really distinct memories of trauma and then nothing else from COVID, I feel.
Well, it's funny because I always said, I don't ever want to work that hard again in my life. My husband, who was off at that time, we were still just dating. But he was here also. He was the one that did a lot of my deliveries and drop-offs for things and picked things up. He was probably driving the car when I ran up to your house. He remembers going to your house. He's, I totally remember going there.
Yeah.
But he says COVID was the best years of his life. He was not working. His dog was ill, but he got to spend every day with his dog and me. He's like, he's very much looking forward to this adventure.
This is like a redo.
Because he's like, let's bring it on.
Yeah, I love that. That's cool. Amanda, how did your relationship to Paula's change over time?
I think once I started working here, it became like I always called Paula's my happy place. Like being able to just be here and be, in this environment, but also like helping people find an outfit that makes them feel, great about themselves and building them up when especially women are so
hard on themselves.
Like
so hard
so quickly.
on themselves.
Like they try on an outfit that I think looks amazing and they pick out everything wrong with it. So being able to be that person that helps build them up, I think that's when my relationship with Paula's changed, is seeing it and getting to see the people in here as someone who working here, seeing people in and out, really made it more than a store for me.
Right.
It felt there was a purpose.
Maybe you said this, but were you working here at any point?
Yeah. So on Sundays for
how long now?
A few years now.
And they all blend together.
How many other people work here?
4, 5? Yeah.
5.
Just girls that I'm here Wednesday through Saturday usually. And then I have a handful that take Sunday day hours for me.
Yeah.
So that I can have a Sunday with a Sundays off. And then I'm trying to think. And then I have, they fill in if I'm sick or I have something to do. So,
okay. So now I want to go back to like let's just say the month before you asked her to do this, or maybe like, a month before you asked. Can you walk me through like the split screen of what was happening? So in terms of, it sounds like you didn't really anticipate being asked.
No, not at all.
And Paula, you had your mind made up at what point?
I don't know exactly when I made up my mind, I guess.
I guess once you tell people, if you haven't told anyone, you haven't made up your mind.
Right.
You can always change it.
Really good at keeping things to myself, even though it seems like I overshare sometimes when people are here.
Yeah.
But I actually, when it's something really big, I tend to keep it to myself until I'm certain. And once I told my mother, because that was like probably my hardest tell. Once I told my mom that this is what I was doing, I knew for a fact that I was definitely going through with it.
Yeah.
And then again, there were lots of questions and I wasn't certain because had Amanda said no, I don't think I could have followed through. I really
Right. So how did your mom react?
I don't think she's thrilled.
Really?
I don't think she's thrilled.
Because why?
I think she's worried that I might not come home. And I think she's scared that it's a big risk, and if the store was a big risk for me, this is a big risk
it's
for
all
me.
A risk. Every
right?
bit of it is a risk.
And I think my mom likes a little more security than what I'm giving her right now. I think she thinks I'm a little crazy right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you're talking to your mom, and then how long goes by before you actually ask Amanda?
I think I asked Amanda shortly after telling my mom.
Okay. And before that, though, Amanda, were you so this truly came out of nowhere? You were not feeling any hint or sign or anything?
Not at all. No. We were at Sturdy Shelter for they were doing pictures for promotional stuff, and they had asked regulars to come. And so we sat with Paula and Aaron that day, and she's, well, I have something to tell you.
Terrifying. That is the scariest.
And I think both Anthony and I were it was like out of left field for us, you know. I mean, I understood. It was a Paula and Aaron thing to do, to want to get out of here right now. And I totally got that, but I was not expecting it at all, no.
So what did Anthony, what was his reaction?
I think at first it was a little bit of, for me, I can't be Paula, and for both of us, can we buy a business? So, do this. But then once we actually sat down and really discussed it, Anthony's been on board since
day one.
Yeah, I was just like, as long as you want to do it, okay.
See, that's what I heard that first day. It was like, well, I don't know, or if she's interested.
I mean, that does feel like the natural take. Yeah, that feels correct. And probably this underlying thing where he's like, she's not going to do it a little bit, right?
I don't know. No,
I don't know. I think he was on board.
He was on board.
So I don't think he would bet on me unless he really wanted to, because he knows if that I might do it. I mean, I've already, with the boardwalk shop, quit my job and opened a store.
Yeah, you've taken a lot of risks.
Yeah.
So how much time went by where you were thinking about it?
Honestly, not long, because we didn't have long.
Okay.
Once Paula told, I'm trying to remember when exactly.
It was
The end of
September.
December? Yeah.
It was September when that's when I really had realized that.
You were like, end of the year, I'm done, basically.
Yeah, I knew I was tired. I knew I was a little burnt out. So something had to change one way or another.
Yeah.
Whether I stepped back from here a little bit or I did something crazy. I just went right for crazy.
You went the crazy, yeah.
I knew something had to change. And so I approached in September figuring that I would either need some time on figuring out what to do after this, what my next picture looked like. It's not as easy as just like quitting your job and going overseas. It's not that simple. There's a lot of steps when you have a store.
Yes. So what was it, like a few days?
Yeah.
Maybe a week.
Yeah. We went out to dinner to kind of really talk about it more seriously after the initial, like, whoa.
After dropping it in the middle of a Sturdy Shelter event of some kind?
Pictures.
Yeah.
And once we saw like numbers and we really talked about it, we were pretty sure almost instantly. The only thing that was holding me back was thinking, can I be Paula? Because Paula's is Paula. And I was like, are people going to accept me? I think that was my biggest
I had no
concern.
idea that was a thing. I had no idea that was a concern.
Did you raise it with her?
I told her.
She did, and I was like,
She's talking fine.
Yeah. Your reaction was not an issue?
I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? People think of it as just me?
Yeah.
I approach life as a unit. So
As a unit, meaning what?
meaning the store is, while it may be Paula's, I've always said our store to anybody who worked here. It's our store. It's,
Not much of an individualist.
No, we get there together. We don't, you never get there by yourself. It always takes a village.
Yeah.
It always takes a village.
So your reaction was a genuine, it's not me, it's a lot of people.
It's a village down here.
And you've been involved for long enough that it's become a bit of you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I felt like everybody knew Amanda. She says not everybody, but I felt like everybody knew Amanda.
So I feel like I just have to ask the question, are we going to change the name to Amanda's now?
No.
Okay.
It's going to stay Paula.
And what's the reasoning behind that? If what she is saying is true, why not change the name?
Because as other people have told me, once I share the news, it's an institution in Batavia. Yeah. And why would you buy a business and change the name? Like, part of what's special
That's
is...
true.
I did have a customer down here that said, I think if you do change it, it should be Pamanda's. So I joke about it being Pamanda's.
I think I like Paul Manda's better.
Oh, there we go. I like that.
So that just sounds like a guy named Paul who's selling it. I don't know if that works. What are the two of you hoping that this will look like in the next year? Actually, I think I'd like you to answer that question for Paula's itself. So what do you hope that Paula's could look like in the next year?
I hope it still feels very much like the warm hug Amanda described. I understand that there are things that need to change and all, but I do hope that it still remains a safe space. And I hope it remains very political and outspoken. And I hope it remains just friendly and warm and welcoming. And I hope that people still come to just cheer for other people in the fitting room.
Yeah. I want to go to the political thing, because I don't hear a lot of people say, I want my thing to be political.
I know.
And especially not as the way you phrase it is because I want it to be warm and welcoming. Can you talk about, because I think that's counterintuitive to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I would like you to talk about why those things go together and why it's important for you, for Paula's to be political.
Right now, we're at a time period where I feel like one side of the aisle is very loud in their beliefs, and my side of the aisle is a little quieter. And it scares me because I have many transgender people in my family, and I have many LGBTQ family friends. And so I want them to know that there are still spaces where they're safe, they can speak safely, they can share their views. They know that everyone in the store, pretty much, let's be honest, is similar-minded. Mm-hmm. We may not agree on everything or on what pathways to take, but we all know that we want what's best for the society as a whole. And so I think it's important. I've always felt that speaking up and speaking loudly encourages others to have a backbone and some strength within themselves. Mm-hmm. If you see that Paula's is at City Hall trying to, stand with the trans community or the whatever community needs the lift at that time, mm-hmm. maybe you'll be more willing to do it, even if it's in your own life, if it's just to a friend or a family member that you feel like maybe doesn't just have it right and you've always let it slide off your back. Maybe you won't let it slide off your back. You'll correct them and try to hopefully show them that, it doesn't have to be one way or the other.
Yeah. Amanda, do you agree on politics? on what she just said?
Yes. Yeah, we're very aligned. And I think that was one of the biggest deciding factors for Paula. And I think to your question before about what I see Paula's, I think along those lines is finding my voice, because I think we're both very like-minded, but different in how we advocate and what we put out there, like especially on social media. And so just finding where my voice fits in with Paula's, you know, because as everyone has told me, I have to make it mine. Mm-hmm. Can't just try to be Paula. So
it's cool that people have told you that. I feel like there's a culture in Paula's that people would naturally say that, whereas other things, not to throw Berkeley's under the bus, it's fine, it's a grocery store, but like the number one thing was this better not change.
Right.
Right? And I feel like with Paula's, it sounds like it's a little bit of a different response, maybe.
I'm hoping there's change. I mean, I think the change that would come would all be for the better. I definitely think that when it's only one person doing it all the time, you get stuck in the details of that day-to-day grind that you've been doing and you miss out on stuff. Yeah. And I think coming in fresh and new and getting to make it a little bit different is so good for the store. It'll fill it with energy and life. I love that Amanda has her kids here. I love that Finn runs the cash register. I love that, you'll see Sterling in a laundry basket just as much as you'll find clothing in it.
Or hear him in the background of a podcast.
Yeah, but I love that it's more family-oriented, and I love the energy, the youthfulness that brings in. I mean, I'm no spring chicken anymore, as these young ones like to show me. Yeah. And so I think the energy and the outlook, and the one thing that makes you old is when you stop learning. Yeah. And so I think it'll be great to see what new things come, what exciting things come. Yeah. With the new energy.
I'm having a moment of like realization or just like a clarification around issues of leadership. So I think a lot of times people think leadership is like leading a group of people and trying to get everyone's opinion and then do the thing that will work for all of those people. What you're talking about, it feels like, is just doing what you want to do and letting other people do what they want to do in a way that it coexists, and it's all centered around the same values, but in terms of what it is that is happening, it's massively different a lot of times.
Richard, that's the second time you've called me a leader. Thank you.
What was the first time?
The last podcast when I said I was a follower and not a leader, and you're like...
Really?
Yeah. So thank you.
Nice. Paula, the question I wrote down is really dumb in retrospect. Okay. You live in Aurora. Yes. And now you won't have a business in Batavia. Yeah. So how are you going to maintain your ties to Batavia, or will you maintain your ties? The reason that's dumb is you're not even going to be in the country. So clearly you won't be physically present in Batavia very much.
I won't. But I still hope to have a lot of presence in Batavia. I have a lot of friends and family in the area. Yeah. So I hope to maintain, at least I hope you guys don't forget me just because I'm out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. Well, you put your name on the building, so.
It helps. It helps. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know, Amanda keeps saying Paula's too. Yeah. I'm coming back to work at Paula's too.
And maybe an Aurora location. Have you thought about that?
That's actually, it's funny because we've discussed it's really hard to get people from Aurora to Batavia for some reason. Yeah. And so we have discussed how much better it is if we have like a second location, if we were to have a second location in Aurora.
Yeah. The next question's for you, Paula.
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you ready to let go right now?
Yes and no. Yeah. I mean, I'm ready to have like I keep saying, I know I was a little bit burnt out, so I'm ready to have a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
I really undervalued how much I meant to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I did not realize, I thought people loved the store. I didn't realize people loved me so much. All I ever wanted was to be loved. So I got everything I wanted.
Oh, wow. Wow. Do you think she's ready to let go, Amanda?
Yes and no. I think what this store was for Paula has been accomplished. And so I think that part of her is ready. But I think it became something she didn't know it could. And so that's the
Wow,
part.
you
She's
said
not
that way better than I
ready
could have.
to let go.
That's 100% it. She hit the nail on the head.
So the last question I'm going to ask, do you know what it's going to be? To you, what does it mean to belong in Batavia, Illinois? And I would like to know first, Paula, whether that answer has changed. So last time you said it meant community. Has that answer changed?
Not at all. I love this. I love Batavia.
Yeah.
I will always love Batavia. It is community at its finest. Everybody stands it's just a welcoming place. It's a very welcoming community where they just take you in and embrace you and make you volunteer and make you a part of make you really fit in and find a spot. I think many places do this. I think Sturdy Shelter creates this. I think Limestone creates this. I think the boardwalk shops are a great example of that. I mean, it is community at its finest, at its very best. I do love Batavia, and I hope to remain a part of the community in some way.
Yeah. Amanda, how long have you been in Batavia?
Almost my whole life.
Okay.
So I moved here when I was 4.
Nice. So to you, what does it mean to belong in Batavia?
Growing up here, I think I felt a connection just because it holds a lot of childhood memories. But when it was time to move back here after I got married, so I had moved away for a short time right after college, and we were looking at houses. And my husband's family is up in northern Illinois and down here, so we were looking kind of both places, near Batavia and near his family home, because we wanted to be close to family. And we drove through downtown Batavia, and from the windows at special occasions, when you start driving into downtown and all the little shops, it's a feeling. It just has this vibe. You can feel the art. You can feel the how Batavia is eclectic. We're not like anything around us. We're not like any of the other suburbs. And it just kind of called us home. We just felt like this is the right spot. And now, having been a business owner and being a business owner again in Batavia, I think the business owners of Batavia are second to none. I mean, they are just so supportive of each other, so wonderful and welcoming, and you just don't feel that in other small towns. And so I think Batavia just has something special in the water. I don't know what it is, but it's a great place.
What was the first time that you felt that belonging?
I mean, I think as a child, I felt like I belonged here. My elementary school was awesome. I loved the librarian, specifically Julie Phillips, who's still around. And she is the reason I actually pursued being a teacher, which was my first career. And she made me feel so welcome in Batavia and welcomed me back as I got older to be in her classroom. And
so when you met her and she made you feel like you belonged, she was a librarian?
She was the third grade teacher. So I got to visit her in many different capacities and observe her teaching, and it made me feel so warm and welcome and want to be an educator, which I feel like I still get to be here in ways. And then as an adult, being a business owner, I think that's when I felt so wrapped up in the warmth of Batavia, because people just rally around you. They may not even know who you are, but they want to support you. Batavians truly want to support Batavia. That's so neat to see.
Thanks for listening to Area Code Batavia. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode. If you enjoyed this podcast, you should absolutely subscribe to the newsletter. Just click the link in the show notes. Most importantly, if you know someone who would love to hear this podcast, please share it with them. Word of mouth is the best way to grow our community and help more people feel like they belong in Batavia, Illinois. Batavia is produced by Area Code Audio. It's hosted and produced by me, Richard Clark, with additional production help from Jennifer Clark. Edited and mixed by Matt Linder.